Okay, so for so many of us, right, the day just doesn't really start until you've had that first cup of coffee. It feels essential.
Absolutely, that morning ritual.
We rely on it, to get going, push through that afternoon slump, just feel switched on.
Hmm.
But what if, and this is the big question, what if you could actually get that same sharp focus, that mental clarity, but without any caffeine at all?
It's a really interesting thought because this reliance we have, it's a bit like running on borrowed energy, isn't it?
Borrowed energy, how so?
Well, caffeine gives you that initial kick, right? That feeling of alertness.
Yeah.
It works by blocking adenosine, which is basically the chemical messenger telling your brain, hey, maybe slow down a bit.
Ah, okay. So it's like putting your fingers in your ears when your brain's trying to tell you it's tired?
Kind of, yeah, exactly. But the
Right.
thing is, your body's smart. It adapts. It starts building more of those adenosine receptors over time.
Oh, I see. So you need more caffeine just to get the same effect you used to.
Precisely. And then when you don't have it, your focus, your energy,
Yeah.
it doesn't just dip. It can seriously tank. Often you feel even worse than if you hadn't had any caffeine to begin with. It's that classic crash.
Right, the crash. We all know that one. But beyond just the crash, what else is going on? Are there, like, subtler ways this dependence messes with our heads?
Yeah, definitely. The sources we looked at, they really highlight this. It's not just about feeling jittery or, not being able to sleep.
Okay.
For a lot of people, that constant caffeine use can actually show up as increased anxiety, feeling restless all the time,
Hmm.
a faster heart rate, and yeah, that chronic sort of mental fogginess. It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
It really is. The thing you take to feel clear-headed might actually be making you foggy in the long run.
Exactly. It could be part of the problem for people feeling distracted or anxious.
Okay, so that's a perfect setup for this deep dive then. We're going to explore some science-backed natural ways to really boost your concentration.
And get that sustainable focus.
Yeah, sustainable focus. Without that caffeine roller coaster, the ups and the downs. Think of this as your shortcut to getting properly informed on how to unlock your brain's own natural power.
That's good.
We'll cover some really interesting stuff, breathing techniques that might surprise you, the absolute crucial role of hydration.
Which often gets overlooked.
Totally. Then natural nootropics, brain boosters from nature, quick micromeditations, and even just how to eliminate those sneaky focus killers in our daily lives.
So if caffeine isn't the sustainable solution, where do we start? How do we cut through that fog?
Well, it's interesting. One of the most powerful tools is maybe the simplest, and it's always with us, our breath. Let's talk about box breathing.
Box breathing is pretty well known, especially in high-stress fields.
Exactly. Used by Navy SEALs, apparently, which tells you something about its effectiveness under pressure. It's known for its rapid calming effect.
And what's really cool about it is how it works. It's so simple, but it's tapping into something really fundamental.
How does it do that?
Well, by controlling your breath in that specific 4x4 pattern, you're actually activating your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay, that's the rest and digest system, right? Not the fight or flight.
Exactly. It tells your body, hey, it's okay to calm down. It lowers stress physiologically, brings your focus inward, kind of pulls you away from all the external noise. It's like a direct line to telling your brain it's safe to concentrate deeply.
And it's genuinely easy to do.
Yes.
Like super accessible.
Totally. What are the steps again?
You just breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 seconds.
Okay.
Then you gently hold your breath for 4 seconds.
Hold, right.
Then you exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 seconds. And then hold again with your lungs empty for another 4 seconds. That's one box.
In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4.
Got it. And you just repeat that cycle for, say, 3 to 5 minutes.
And you can use it pretty much anytime you need a reset.
Yeah, exactly. Before you dive into a big work block, maybe before a presentation if you're feeling nervous, or honestly, just any time during the day when you feel your mind starting to wander, get overwhelmed.
It's like hitting Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete for your brain.
Right.
Just clears out the mental clutter.
Totally. Okay, moving on. Next up, hydration. The forgotten focus fuel. We hear drink more water all the time, but it's actually kind of shocking how much even slight dehydration messes with our brains.
It really is striking. We're talking mild dehydration, just a 1 to 2% drop in your body weight from water loss. That's it.
Wow, only 1-2%. That's barely noticeable.
Barely noticeable, but it can significantly impair brain performance. It makes you think, doesn't it? How many times have you felt off or struggled to focus, maybe had a headache,
Yeah.
and maybe it was just your brain crying out for water? That slight dip could be the invisible barrier keeping you from thinking clearly.
I can picture myself, like, staring blankly at my computer screen around 3 p.m.,
Yep.
thinking, I need another coffee. But maybe what I really need is just a big glass of water. Is that common?
Oh, absolutely. The classic symptoms of dehydration-related brain fog are right there. Trouble concentrating, that sort of dull, nagging headache, slower reaction times, even little short-term memory glitches, like, what did I come in this room for again?
Yeah, been there. So what are the practical tips? How do we actually stay on top of it?
Well, simple habits really are key. Like, make it a point to start your day with a decent-sized glass of water, before the coffee even.
Good point. Rehydrate first.
Keep a water bottle right there on your desk, visible. That visual cue helps a lot.
Yeah, I find that makes a huge difference.
And if you're feeling really drained, maybe after exercise or just a long, mentally taxing day, sometimes adding just a tiny pinch of sea salt or a few electrolyte drops to your water can make a difference. Helps replenish minerals.
Okay, interesting.
Because fundamentally, when your brain cells are properly hydrated, the neurons just fire more efficiently. Everything works better. You get sharper attention, you can think faster, and it even helps stabilize your mood.
Makes sense. So, simple but powerful. All right, we've covered breathing and water, foundational stuff. But what about compounds that can actively boost brain function? That brings us to natural nootropics.
Right. And when people hear nootropics, sometimes they think of, like, synthetic smart drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Limitless kind of stuff.
But that's not really what we're focusing on here. We're talking about cognitive enhancers straight from nature.
Okay, clarify that. What is a nootropic then in this context?
Simply put, it's any substance that helps support cognitive function, memory, focus, creativity, motivation, and many of them are natural.
Gotcha.
The sources we reviewed pointed to several really powerful natural ones, things used in traditional medicine for ages, but now they're getting solid scientific backing for actually improving focus, memory, clarity.
Yeah.
And importantly, without that stimulant crash.
And unlike caffeine, which is just kind of blocking a signal temporarily, these sound like they might actually nourish the brain, build it up.
That's a great way to put it. Many of them seem to support the brain's actual structure and function, potentially leading to more resilient long-term cognitive health, not just a short-term fix.
Okay, so let's get specific. Can you walk us through some of the top natural nootropics mentioned? Maybe give us a quick idea of what each one does.
Sure. So Bacopa monnieri is a big one. It's really known for improving memory and learning. It seems to help with neurotransmitter function, basically making the communication between brain cells smoother.
Okay, like greasing the wheels of thought.
Kind of. Then there's ginkgo biloba. This one primarily works by increasing blood flow to the brain. More blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients.
Which helps with concentration and thinking speed.
Exactly. Think of it like opening up more lanes on the highway in your brain. Then, lion's mane mushroom is getting a lot of attention.
Heard of that one?
Yeah, it actually seems to support the growth of nerve cells, nerve growth factor, or NGF, so it might directly help with improving memory and focus. It's like upgrading your brain's actual hardware.
Wow.
For dealing with fatigue and stress, especially during demanding mental work, rhodiola rosea is fantastic. It helps build mental stamina, like an adaptogen, helps you resist stress.
Your mental energy shield, maybe?
I like that, yeah. And finally, we can't forget omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish oil, flax seeds.
The basics.
The absolute basics, but crucial. They're fundamental for the structure of brain cell membranes and vital for cell communication. Think of them as the essential building blocks for flexible, efficient thinking.
That's a great list. But I imagine trying to get all of those individually in the right amounts. That sounds like a lot of work.
It really can be. Sourcing high-quality versions of each one, figuring out the effective dosages, combining them correctly, it's not that straightforward for the average person. Yeah. Which is why, as some sources mention, some people find it easier to look for comprehensive natural supplements, ones that are thoughtfully formulated to combine several of these science-backed ingredients together.
Into one capsule, maybe?
Yeah, aiming to support focus, memory, maybe even brain repair, all naturally, without having to juggle 5 different bottles.
Yeah.
It addresses that practicality issue.
Makes sense. It raises that point. The best solution isn't helpful if it's too complicated to actually do.
Exactly. Consistency is key with these natural approaches.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. Another strategy that sounds simple but can be really effective, micromeditation for mental reset. I think a lot of people hear meditation and immediately think, I don't have time for that.
Right. They picture needing, like, an hour on a cushion in total silence.
Yeah. But this is different.
Totally different. We're talking about micromeditation, like 3 to 5 minutes. That's
3
it.
to 5 minutes. Seriously.
Seriously. Even that short burst of mindfulness can make a real difference in sharpening your focus and actually improving how well you perform on your next task. It's like a quick mental palate cleanser.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How do you do it? Is it complicated?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's refreshingly simple. You basically just close your eyes,
Oh,
gently bring your attention to your breath. Just notice the feeling of breathing in and breathing out.
what happens when your mind wanders? Because it definitely will.
Oh, it absolutely will. That's normal. The key is when you notice your mind has wandered off, thinking about emails, dinner, whatever you have it, just gently, without judging yourself, bring your attention back to your breath.
So no frustration, just, thinking, okay, back to breathing.
Precisely. It's the act of noticing and returning that is the practice.
And doing this, say, a few times a day?
Yeah, even just once or twice. It can really shift your whole mental state. It helps quiet down all that internal chatter, that mental noise that fuels distraction.
Sure.
You come back to whatever you were doing, feeling a bit calmer, a bit clearer.
I can see how that would help reset things. Okay, final section. This one might hit close to home for a lot of us. Eliminate focus killers. Specifically, notifications and multitasking.
Oh man, the notifications, they're relentless.
Totally. And multitasking, which we often think makes us more productive, but maybe not.
Yeah, it's often the opposite. It's kind of amazing how much focus and time we lose to these things, often without even realizing the full cost.
What is the cost?
Well, every single time you glance at a notification or switch from your main task to quickly check email or jump between multiple projects, your brain has to disengage and then re-engage.
Right, there's a switching cost.
A significant one. It takes time and mental energy to get back into the groove of what you were originally doing. This constant context switching doesn't just slow you down cumulatively.
It's just tiring.
It's incredibly fatiguing. It leads to serious mental drain by the end of the day. You feel wiped out, even if the work itself wasn't that hard, just because your brain was constantly changing gears.
Okay, that resonates. So what can we do about it? Give us some quick, actionable focus hacks.
All right, simple but effective stuff. First, use Do Not Disturb mode. Seriously. On your phone, on your computer, during blocks of time you need to concentrate.
Be ruthless about it.
Be ruthless. Second, stop the constant checking. Batch your email checks. Maybe 2-3 times a day, max. Same for social media, if that's a work distraction. Schedule it. Don't let it interrupt you.
Good one. What else?
If you struggle with specific websites or apps being too tempting, use technology against itself. There are apps like Freedom or Cold Turkey that literally let you block distracting sites for set periods.
Fight fire with fire. I like it.
Sometimes you need that external boundary.
It really boils down to actively protecting your focus time, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You have to treat your mental bandwidth, your attention, like it's your most valuable resource. Because, honestly, it probably is.
That's a powerful way to think about it. So if we kind of wrap all this up, the big takeaway seems to be that focus isn't just about finding the right stimulant.
No, not at all. It's much more of a lifestyle, really. It's built on these kinds of sustainable, intentional habits that we've been talking about.
So maybe the next time you feel that urge, that automatic reach for another coffee just to power through, maybe just pause for a second, ask yourself, like, okay, body, what do you actually need right now?
That's a great question.
Is it really more caffeine? Or is it maybe genuine rest? Is it just water? Could it be needing more oxygen, like doing that box breathing for a few minutes? Or maybe just a moment of stillness, like that micromeditation to get clear again?
It's about listening more closely, isn't it? Instead of just defaulting to the usual fix.
Exactly, because by bringing these simple natural habits into your routine, the breathing, staying hydrated, the quick meditation breaks, maybe supporting your brain with those natural nootropics we discussed, you really can build that deep, sustainable focus without the roller coaster, without the jitters and the crash.
And things like those thoughtfully formulated natural supplements, they can be a practical part of that toolkit for people serious about cognitive performance, offering that combined support without stimulants.
Right. It's an option to support the whole system. So maybe the final thought to leave people with is this. If you're really serious about your cognitive performance, about thinking clearly and staying focused, it's probably time to take a smarter, more holistic approach than just relying on the next caffeine hit. Look after your brain.